Yo, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? This is Rick. I am back, trying to get everything situated. It's been a crazy day. As y'all know, it's Halloween. Everybody been out. So I'm just getting kind of situated here. Apologize. Started a little late. Had to make sure I got everything in order. I know it's one thing that I have to do, right? I'm building out my new studio down here in the basement, trying to get things right and correct, right? One of the things that I have to do down here is get a bigger monitor, right? I'm trying to hook this thing up, put it on the TV so I can see it big right in front of me and I could talk to y'all and direct and do everything I'm supposed to do, but I'll be able to work it off the computer. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in. We are live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and supposedly Twitter. So I got to see if that's true. Y'all let me know if anybody's tuning in right now from Twitter or YouTube or anywhere like that. I'm going to try to make sure I get all of your comments up as they come in. But it's been a crazy week, man. Bombshell news just dropped. Yeah, I'm not ready to get to that right now. To be honest with you guys, I'm not ready to get with that. But if you guys want me to get right into it, just let me know. I'll dive right into it. But it's been a crazy week. Friday night we went out to Washington Township. Shout out to his Washington Township coach, their team. They tune in to our shows on Wednesday, so salute to them. Shout out to who else was out there? Atlantic City. Got a chance to see them play. They're really good. Saw some big things. Thank you. Eagles hat. Yeah, I wore this for a reason. I'll tell y'all later. But Township looked really, really good. They play RV this week, so that should be a good one. Game of the week. We working on game of the week, trying to figure out what location is going to be game of the week. I have a couple in mind, but we'll post it tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we'll post our game of the week. We normally do it on Wednesday, middle of the week, to kind of get everybody excited about it. Man, everybody want me to get to it, huh? I've been getting text all day. If you guys have not heard, news came out today that Eastside has been disqualified from the playoffs in Group 3. It's been, that's kind of tough. When they've been disqualified. Apparently, they played a player that was ineligible. Apparently, he transferred in after a certain date, and I'm guessing he wasn't supposed to play in the playoffs once you transfer after a certain day. If it was before said date, he would have been eligible to play. So it's a little bit of a logistics thing. It's a little bit of a I don't know, man. All I know, I will say this. As a person that has been involved and been around the Eastside program, football and basketball, for the last couple of years, it really hurts my heart for those seniors, especially the seniors. Guys like Will Love, Rashid Bell, Jules Dominguez, so many other of the kids. I don't want to keep going. Roger Brown, I believe he's a senior too. That's tough, man. That's a tough way to go out, right? If you lose on the field, that's one way that you go out. You get injured, you kind of chalk it up to that's a part of the game, as people say. But to have it be because of I'm guessing some type of error. I don't want to misspeak. I don't want to put any blame on anybody. I'm not going to put blame on the coach or the coaches, even administrators, right? So, but with this ruling, it is a fact that something happened, correct? So with that being said, it's kind of tough when you have that ruling um, come down on the kids. So somebody dropped the ball was dropped somewhere. It's kind of tough. Man, I really feel bad for those kids. I feel bad for the kids. I feel bad for the coaches. Like, you go all season preparing for this. You go all season trying to get to a space where you're playing for an opportunity to win a championship, right? You're playing for an opportunity to play in the playoffs. You're trying to get better as the season go on. You finally get to a space where you feel like, hey, we can find ourselves in the Group 3 championship within a week or two, and you get this come down is really really bad. That's tough, man. Yeah, Michael, I got to be honest with you. I feel bad for the kids too. You know, it's really it's hard to say. I don't know. How do you guys feel? How you know? I'm trying not to put the blame on anybody because a lot of times we throw the blame, and I may not know everything. This just came down. I'm not going to say whose fault it was and all of that, but we all know the ball was dropped somewhere, and it's tough, man. I feel bad for those kids, but hopefully some type of good can come from this for those kids. Um, man, I, man, it's tough. That is, you guys let me know. You guys are welcome to chime in. Pretty soon, excuse me, pretty soon I will get to a point where we can have phone calls, people calling in. I think that'll be pretty dope as well. But yeah, man, right now I have somebody waiting in the green room. I'm gonna bring him in. Um, Person I'm going to bring in is Mr. Nyair Graham, Cam the High graduate. Uh, Currently now on, he's still playing. He's at the JUCO route, but I wanted to have. I'll bring him on, and then I'll kind of talk to him about it. All right, that's what we want to do right now. Bring Nair on. Ooh, what did I do? I made you disappear, Nair. Hold on one second. I'm about to bring you in. All right, here we go. Nair, what's going on, man? Can you hear me? I want to make sure. Hold on one second. Make sure. I'm going to add you. Uh, I muted you. How did I do that? Hold on. Hold on. Give me one second, y'all. I'm trying to do this. I thought I had it. It says guest in the green room. So I'm trying to bring you in. Hold on one second. Okay. All right. So I have two. Give me one second, y'all. I'm learning. I'm learning on the fly. So I'm bringing him in right now. Oh, I have to assign him a camera. I'm trying to assign him a camera, but it's not giving me the option to assign him that camera. So I have to assign him another camera. Hold on one second. There we go. Hopefully you can hear me at this point. Can you hear me now, Nair? Still can't hear me? What is going on? It might be me. Hold on. I want to make sure. I'm trying to bring him in. I'm gonna try to bring him in again, guys. All right, can you hear me, Nair? Check, check. You should be able to hear me. Jesus, what is going on? Guest is in the green room. I got him in here, y'all. Not me. Nair, go out and come back in. I'm gonna try to do it all over again. Hopefully I could bring you in, guys. Rock with me. Give me a little bit. Trying to bring him in. I'm gonna X him out and bring him back on. I guess I gotta accept him. One second, guys. I guess I have to accept him. All right, so I'm gonna accept him now and assign him. And what is going on? Can you hear me, Nyair? He could hear me. I have no clue what's going on, y'all. I'm trying. Interview. I think I found it. Hold on. Uh, on a button. Can you hear me? Check, check. Can you hear me now? We are live, y'all. Y'all gotta bear with me, man. I'm trying to bring him in. It says that you're unmuted. Just go back out and come back in. Make sure you click all the buttons that allow you to use your microphone. If you can hear me, not here. Sometimes when people click on, they don't click all of the buttons. So I'm gonna try to make sure that he clicked all of the buttons that allow me to use the phone and use his you're assigned. All right. Um, 1 second, guys. All right. Can you hear me now, Nair? Hold on. I don't know what's going. I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm trying my best to bring him in. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. All of the settings are there. Uh, I don't. I have no clue, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm gonna try to continue to bring him in because he has a really good story. Um, let me just text him real quick. Make sure. All right. So I'm trying to make sure that he has the camera and the microphone that will allow him to come in and be able to talk. His camera was good. It says interview right here. I'm gonna use echo cancellation. All right. And we'll see. We'll see if this works, guys. Hopefully he comes right back in. Um, so that he can get on and kind of talk about his story. I think it's a great story for kids to hear. Um, all right. Let me see if I can use this one. Hold on 1 second. Nope, that doesn't give me an option. This is crazy. I don't know what's going on right now, guys. I apologize. I'm gonna sign him. That's not an option. Let's see if this works. I have no clue. All right, I'm ready to bring on. I'm gonna try to go to my next guest, guys, and then we'll try to get Nair back on. Um, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Um, just want to bring him in, and then we'll get back to Nair. Hopefully this works. If this doesn't work, I don't know what to say. Um, so I'm gonna bring on. Ooh, let's see, Coach. Can you hear me? All right, so he can hear me. I can't hear him. 1 second, guys. I don't know what's going on. Are you there? I can't. I should be able to hear you. I don't know why I can't. Um, Why is it saying that? Hold
Hold
on
on
one
one
second,
second,
guys.
guys. Um,
Coach, can you hear me? Can't hear me. I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm gonna try to go out, get it restarted, and come back in. Um, I apologize for this. We're live. It should click on. It's a click of a button, literally. And I'll try to get back on, man. I definitely want to bring both of these guys because it's a they're really good stories. So let's see. Hold on. So it's on. Hold on one second. I'm trying this one last time. It says guest in green room is muted. All right. Let me assign. Man, this is crazy. Had this all set up. All right, Nyair, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me? No? All right. All right, you can hear me. So the audio on your side, if you can hear me once I go live, if it doesn't click on, um, did you make sure that you click the button so that the phone could use your audio? It gives you that option. All right, so you did that too. All right, so we'll try this right now. And some reason, okay, camera effect, some reason you're not coming up. Let me get the audio. Check, mute it. Will unmute. So, you should be getting ready to be unmuted. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I'm trying, guys. Apologize. I might lose some people because of this. All right, so it's saying that it's going to try to unmute you. Um, but I'm still waiting for it to unmute. Uh, okay. One second. So it's on your end, Nair. Um, whatever it is, it's on your ear, your end. Let me try this one second because it looks like Coach Wormley. Nair, give me a second. I'm gonna bring Coach Everett in, and then we'll try to get your side fixed. Looks like Coach, you are ready to go. Let's hope. All right, Coach, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
All right, there we go. See, it's something with the way the audio works on your end. I guess you gotta allow it to use your microphone or something like that. But what's going on, Ev? I'm glad I could get you in and talk to you. If you see me looking down, I'm just looking at the computer trying to make sure that everything is good. I'm gonna try to bring in some of the comments to ask you a question. But right now we have Coach. I gotta call you Coach now. Everett Wormley, who played at Burlington Township, went on to play at Rutgers University, and from there he played a grad year or 2 years at Central Connecticut State. Um, and he's now the current offensive coordinator at Burlington Township. Coach, what's going on?
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me, man. It's long overdue.
Yes, for sure, man. I talked to you at a couple games. I mean, we have a history outside of sports as well with family members. You playing
Family, sure, family.
for sure. So the first thing I wanted to get to and ask you was your time growing up at Burlington, Township, right? In that area, most guys, sometimes they go outside of their area and they tend to play at Burlington City. Some guys will go and play at Willingboro. What was one of the things that made you stay there to play when you were at Burlington Township?
Um, just because people said you couldn't, I've always been a guy that's fueled by doubt. So when people around that time, a lot of guys were going to your Huns and your Petties and came in cast for PVI, right? And it seemed like all these other schools were snatching up Burn for talent because for whatever reason, folks thought that's what you had to do to get to the next level where everyone in here and across the table wants to go. And I just made it a point, like, know what you do it at the crib, and that's what I went on to do.
Mm-hmm. So you wind up having a really good high school career. Um, going on to Rutgers. Like for you, and before you get to that, you seem like a person that is very loyal. Um, did that play a part in you choosing to stay home? And what went into that process when you were deciding?
Repeat some of that question again because you cut in and out
Okay.
in the beginning.
I guess my question was for you, once it came down to you picking Rutgers, what went into that decision for you to stay at home and go to Rutgers?
Like you said, I heard the back end with the loyalty part again. Just people saying that you can't go to school at Rutgers and kind of whether that is just going to the league, getting a degree, just being successful there. And one thing I learned is that success was defined differently. Once you get to that next level, everybody just assumes that you go there, and the next step is automatically the league. And that's something that I preach to my young guys now. That right, if you're blessed to go play at that level, right, Power Five ball, where everybody wants to play at, you're a 1% in high school. Well, once you get to that level, it's a new 100%. Only 1% of those guys had that opportunity to go play Sundays, right? So for me, just being able to go to stay at home, not only play on a big stage right away in front of my family and friends, but also get a good education there. You know what I'm saying? Like all that played into effect. And I wanted my family, my friends back at Burlington to be able to see me do it live and direct.
Hmm. Yeah, I get that vibe from you. And that's a good trait to have once you get into coaching because you wind up going back home, the routine, what it takes to get there, all the back end work. Um, at this position that you're in now, it's a new position for you. You're not that far removed from playing. So when you talking to some of the kids and you hear them talk and you see the stuff on social media, um, what's your advice to them going through this recruiting part?
Um, Stay within the moment. I would say most definitely because at the end of the day, everybody, all these kids' goals nowadays, it's a little bit different, right? For growing up, and even during your time, like we just cared about wins and losses, and all that other stuff was in the back of your mind because you didn't have to see it on social media, right? You didn't have to see guys getting 30 offers and all this recruitment attention, and you didn't. You kind of really didn't know till like senior year, we seen in the newspaper, oh, so and so going here, so and so going there, right?
Right.
So just stay within the moment and trust your process, man, because that's the most beautiful part. Like you'll miss all what it took to get there. You just worry about the end result. And I just tell my kids, man, don't be ignorant to the D1 or bust mentality out there because the majority of y'all aren't going to play Division I football, but there's great football being played at the D2 level. There's great football being played at the D3 level. If you need to go that route, there's great football being played at the JUCO level. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing to continue to play football after high school because, again, D1 guys, like the Power 5 guys, 1%, like I said, but overall, like only 6% of high school kids will play any type of college ball. So it's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? And you're setting yourself up to get an education. Like that's the most important part. Is getting young men educated that if not for football, they may not have had that opportunity. Like that's really the big picture and all.
Yeah, man. One thing I know about your family, they definitely preach the educational side of school, and made sure that that was one of the main focuses for you. Um, to for me to see you coaching while you still were in college and still playing, and to see you teaching, right? I saw you teaching at one of the schools. I don't know if it was locally or if it was out where you were playing. Um, what kind of
Yeah,
got you into
just
that?
substitute work while I was home.
Okay, so what?
Yeah.
I mean, most guys, I mean, they say they don't want to be around the kids and all that stuff. What got you into that? Like, how did that come about?
Um,
Um,
I would
I would
say
say
it was
it was
done for
done for
me,
me,
right?
right?
So I
So
gotta
I
give
gotta
a
give a
big
big
shout out,
shout out,
right,
right,
to a
to a
couple of my
couple of my
OGs,
OGs,
right?
right?
Because
Because
she's
she's
more
more
wide
wide
receiver coach
receiver
at
coach at
UConn
UConn
now,
now,
Brother
Brother
Township
Township
grad.
grad.
He
He
took
took
me
me
under
under
his
his
wing when I
wing when
was
I
in
was in
eighth
eighth
grade,
grade,
right? So
right?
I
So I
would
would
go with
go with
Kashika at
Kashika
the
at the
time.
time.
He was
He was
playing for
playing
the
for the
Steelers,
Steelers,
he
he
first
got
out of
out of
UConn,
UConn,
whatever.
whatever.
And I
And
would
I
go
would
up
go up
there
there
and run
and run
routes for
routes for
all
all
league
league
guys. I'm
guys. I'm
talking about
talking
like
about like
Muhammad
Muhammad
Sanu,
Sanu, you know,
Leonte
Leonte
Carew,
Carew,
Gary
Gary
Noble was
Noble
out
was
there
out
at the
there at the
time.
time.
You know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying? So
saying? So
all these
all these
league
league
guys
guys
from in
from
and
in and
around
around
Jersey during
Jersey
the
during the
off
off
season,
season,
I'm there
I'm
in
there
eighth
in eighth
grade,
grade,
just
just
learning from
learning from
these
these
guys.
guys.
And
And
I just
I just
wanted to
wanted
do
to
the
do the
same
same
thing for
thing for
somebody
somebody
else.
else.
You know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Preston Brown, Coach Preston
Preston
Brown,
Brown,
another one,
another one,
took me
took
up
me up
under
under
his
his
wing
wing
as a
as a
youngin'
youngin'
when he was
when he was
relatively
relatively
young,
young,
and I
and I
seen
seen
where
where
changing
changing
kids like
kids
my
like my
life
life
has
has
gotten
gotten
him.
him.
So
So
just
just
being
being
able to
able to
give back
give
to
back
my
to my
community,
community,
first and
first and
foremost, like
foremost,
that's
like
the
that's the
biggest thing.
biggest
Because
thing. Because
Burlington
Burlington
gave me
gave me
everything. Like
everything. Like
that's
that's
why
why
I'm
I'm
there
there
now as a
now as a
teacher, as a
teacher, as a
coach,
coach,
because
because
it's just
it's
kind
just
of
kind
what
of
I
what
felt where I
I
belong in the
belong in the
long
long
run. You
run.
know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying? Just
saying? Just
giving
giving
back
back
to
to
everybody that
everybody that
gets
gets
given to
given
me
to me,
basically.
basically.
So
So
that's
that's
kind of
kind
why
of
I
why I
got
got
into it
into it
and
and
just trying
just
to
trying to
pass
pass
that
that
torch
torch
down,
down,
like how it
like
was
how it was
given to
given to
me.
me.
Man, that's dope. A lot of people, along the way, touch kids, right? And a couple years ago, you were one of those kids that I used to see on the circuit as well, and just see you around. And you never were disrespectful at all. Always a class act on and off the field. Um, I'm just sitting back thinking about me talking to you in this moment and how many guys um, that those men that you've named. I'm talking about the Prestons and guys you were working with. How many young men they've touched over the years, and now you're in that position to touch some young guys too. I do a lot of observing. I'm very quiet if you don't know me. Kind of laid back in the cut, try to stay out the way. That's my motto. And I watched you when you guys came to our 7-on-7. I watched how passionate you were. One thing I'll say is don't lose that passion. I know it's tough sometimes when you have to deal with parents and some of the kids that don't want to listen, and it could turn you off sometimes. But I hope you stay with that passion. So my next question for you is, with that being said, with all of the stuff that goes on, what's been your biggest challenge as being a young offensive coordinator coming into Burlington Township, a city that you grew up in?
Um,
Um,
I say
I
this
say this
in the
in the
most
most
humble
humble
way,
way,
in the most
in the most
humblest way
humblest way
possible,
possible,
right?
right?
And
And
it's
it's
something
something
that
that
uh,
uh,
Coach Mike
Coach Mike
Osborne, because
Osborne, because
he was the
he was the
offensive
offensive
coordinator,
coordinator,
and
and I slowly
he slowly
he slowly
started giving
started
me the
giving me the
keys
keys
to the
to
car
car
as the
as the
season
season
went on
went
a
on a
little bit,
little bit.
just
Just
seeing my
seeing my
potential,
potential,
right
right
on
on the
wall and
wall
so
and so
forth.
forth.
Um,
Um,
I
I
learned that
learned that
these
these
kids
kids
aren't
aren't
me,
me,
and
and
I
I
can't
can't
expect
expect
me
me
out of
out of
them.
them.
You know what
You
I'm
know what I'm
saying? Because
saying? Because
again, we
again, we
talked
talked
about those
about those
percentages.
percentages.
I have
I
to
have to
remember at the
remember at
high
the high
school
school
level, I
level,
was
I
a
was a
one
one.
percenter. So it's like some of the plays I used to make, some of the things I do is not the average high school kid. And sometimes I have to find myself gaining more patience and tempering my expectations out of them. You know what I'm saying? And just being realistic about what you're working with. You know what I'm saying? Because of course you run to your special kids. Again, they're across South Jersey. There's several programs that have one. There's some that have multiple. And when you get teams like that is when you're really special. But just working with kids and developing them and having the patience to stick with developing them, like that's been the biggest thing for me. And I think I've done a good job at it. Because again, I've always been like a people person. Like relationships come easy. So from the moment I walked through the door, like these kids ain't ever question anything that I said. 'Cause at first, the resume spoke for itself, right? That they knew exactly when I was walking through the door. These came kids that in elementary school they were watching me at the high school level, and as they started growing up, they were watching me on TV and so forth. I'm in the community; they always see me outside running routes. It was easy to connect, but it was harder to turn that relationship into production. You know what I'm saying? Just in trying to get them to perform how I expected myself to perform. If that makes sense. We there? Oh man. Uh-oh.
About expectations, expecting things out of the players. It's kind of like being a parent, right? You have your kids, you kind of expect them to be you, um, and that's just not possible, right? Hold on one second. I'm trying to bring him. I'm gonna try to bring him back up. He just came back in. All right.
We good? If you talking, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I have to figure this out. I'm gonna have to test this on my own.
You can
You
hear me
can hear me
now?
now? Yeah, I could definitely hear you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can hear me?
All right. Check. You can hear me.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep. Hopefully
All
everybody
right.
can hear. I don't know what's going on. It's something that's throwing it off. But
Was it
what I was
that
going
though?
to say, what I was going to say, you were talking about expecting things out of players that you were able to do and different things like that. Are you there?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right. So, I was just kind of relating it to having kids. Once you have kids, you kind of expect your kids to, you kind of see yourself in those kids as they're coming up. I even have daughters, and it's kind of similar things with them. I see them doing certain things, and it kind of reminds me of when I was a child. And as being, for me being a coach, especially when I was younger, I would see certain traits in kids, and I'm like, man, the way he does this, it reminds me of the way that I was able to do this. If he could just do that, if he could change this, Like that is one of the hardest things to do as a coach. And I think that's why some of the guys who were greats, right? They're terrible coaches because
That's exactly why.
you
That's
know
exactly why.
they just expect it. Like aggression is different in different kids just because one kid may have all the athletic ability that you may have had or I may have had or anybody coaching may have had doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the same or similar type of player. So that's a good thing that you picked up on early as a coach. Um,
Yep, for sure. It just tempers my expectation, allows me to be more patient with them, for sure. Because like you said, there may be a kid that's just as athletic as you, but he may just have stone hands, right? So it's just like, all right, well, how do I work around these deficiencies and put him in the best possible position to still reach his potential? That's all that is.
yep. So here's one for you. This year, you're around and you're watching high school football. You played
Hmm.
here in South Jersey. You know the area, the lay of the land. Um, what was something that kind of is different now on the other side versus when you were playing? Because the game, of course, the game is going to be a lot slower to you, and you can see it come. But as far as from being a player in the South Jersey and now being a coach in South Jersey.
Oh, that's a tough question. I would say the talent is more lump sum in certain programs than others.
Mm,
Because of the transfer rules now, good players can go play with other good players, right? I feel like kind of before when I was in high school, we were all spread out, and that was the funnest thing about playing like NLG, right? Because then that's the time that like we will form like the Avengers will assemble and we'll go out and just kick everybody behind on the national circuit.
right.
Um, but now these kids are actually playing with each other at their respective high schools more so than we were. So that's something different that I noticed. And I'm not necessarily saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just different.
Hmm. It depends on what program you're with. If it's a good or a bad thing. Some may say
Right.
it's bad. Others may say it's really good and working well for them. You know, and
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
So I think that's really what it is, man. But the talent, man, the talent is there, and I'm finally glad that we're kind of getting the recruiting recognition that we always deserved.
mhm,
It started around like my time, a little bit before me, but
mhm,
since then, like South Jersey leading the land, like there's not a single college coach that isn't coming through South Jersey.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Because they know what talent is out here, and that's a great thing. I'm glad that we were able to set that foundation.
mhm. It definitely I remember coming out there, and I got to be honest, I never ever saw Burlington Township play at all ever in my life until you guys got there. Um, and you guys had a really good program there, so you guys are starting to bring that back. Um, with some of the success of Omar Rogers, yourself, um, you have what's the other the safety? He was at what's his name? His last name was Rogers too, I believe.
Eric, we got Eric
Eric.
at Rutgers right now playing in the
Yep.
starting corner. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Rutgers.
Yeah.
Eric and AJ, and we had AJ Johnson as well.
Mhm. Yep. And
You know,
I mean, he's doing his thing right now.
and he's tearing it up at Stony Brook. He
That's
definitely is.
Yeah, so you guys definitely have had some guys come through that program that were really good and showed well at the college level. That definitely helps the recruiting. Who are some of the young guys right now in Burlington Township that people should be keeping an eye out for?
We got a couple guys that are coming back because, like I said, we had a very young team this year. Which
Mhm,
attributed to some of our struggles, but it wasn't because of lack of talent, more so just lack of experience and strength of schedule, right? We played arguably the toughest schedule in South Jersey. Like we were a 2-7 football team that made the playoffs because of our strength of schedule. You
mhm,
know, so one guy for sure, my young guy Quade Hendricks, sophomore wide receiver, finished the regular season top 10 in the state in receiving.
mhm,
A playmaker. He's like a jack of all trades. Play inside, outside. He doesn't have blazing speed, but he just seems to never get caught. He knows how to make people miss an open field. He's one of those kind of kids. Our quarterback Baron Davis, ultra talented. He reminds me of like a baby Cam Newton at this level because as a high school quarterback, he's 6'2", 200 pounds. He
Yeah.
can run once he gets going downhill. So that's scary, you know. So just utilizing his legs with his arm. Again, I think he was in the top 20 in passing yards in the state this year, you know, because our run game did struggle. So we relied heavily on those two. Barron's a junior, he'll be a senior next year. So I can't wait to experience his growth this offseason as a quarterback, just a year. This was really his first year truly playing quarterback, I would say, because his sophomore year he started, but we had a tailback that ran for 1,400 yards. So he kind of just
Right.
handed the ball off right, handed the ball off left as a first year starting sophomore. This year we really made him play quarterback and see the field. And I gave him a watered down college scheme, so we weren't just running, you know, no shade at all, like the wing T or just the I formation, basic high
Right.
school offense. Like he was out there playing quarterback.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, another guy on the offensive side of the ball, guard and D tackle Xavier Tank Wimberly. We call him Tank for a reason. You know, he's about only 6'1", but 300 pounds, has great feet, and he just plays the game violently. But off the field, he's one of the humblest, most quiet, introverted kids you would meet. Tank doesn't say a word, but he turned into a different person Friday nights. So I would say those are three guys you should definitely be on the lookout for next year. And we'll see what else we can develop this off season and, you know, go from there. You know, we'll see what tricks we pull out of our bag.
Hmm. So, what are some of your goals, personally and as a team? You just spoke to you guys being young, but what are some of the goals going into the off season for your program over there?
Um, One, just becoming more disciplined as a team. You know, we had some times where just being young, you know, we had lapses in focus or judgment on the field. So just becoming more disciplined as a young team, learning what it takes to win.
Mhm.
Because like you said, at Browns Township, all we've done is won for the past 20 something years since Coach Madera's been there. And this is his first time ever experiencing losing seasons back to back. So it's not familiar territory for us, but we just kind of have to bring back that same culture that we established for the first 18 years of his tenure. But just getting, you know, of course, bigger, stronger, faster, that goes without saying. But I would say just becoming more disciplined as a team entirely, you know, and finding some leadership amongst our young guys because again, we put so much on their plate. They didn't have time to grow into their roles
Mm.
like a program usually is. Like I was kind of able to, you know, we put a lot. Like I said, like Quade was our best player this year. He was only a sophomore. We asked a lot of him. You know, Barron's a junior, started turning the corner, but again, this is his first year really playing quarterback.
Mhm.
Tank is only a junior. You know, we have sophomores galore on the defense side of the ball. You know, junior and sophomores on the offense side of the ball. We have a freshman running back, Aiden Banks, who's another player that you should really keep an eye on. He's going to make waves next year. I feel like so. Yeah, I would say those are the things though that we need to work on going on this off season, and that you could expect us to improve on next year.
For sure. So, Gary, wind down. Have a couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
Three players that you've seen this year on an opposing team that kind of caught your eye, or a player that you've seen out in the field that you may not have coached against, but it's a guy that kind of caught your eye this season.
Um. All right, number one for sure. I got to show receiver love. Shout out my young boy at Winslow, Cam Miller. Man, he is the certified truth.
Mhm.
And I was able to have a nice conversation with him after the game. You know, just again, one South Jersey. You know, I'm up there for my time. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So just being able to have that conversation with him and just tell him like, yo, you got a chance to be special as long as you stay humble, stay hungry. Like sky's the limit for that kid. Just silky smooth. sensational ball skills. His ball skills is what really stands out.
Right.
And just again how smooth he is, his ability to make people miss. Sometimes it kind of looks like he's jogging, but he's still outrunning everybody, because he got that long stride. And just on the defensive side of the ball, like his side of the field is just what I didn't try him. I told him on the sideline, he's lined up, he kind of looked bored. I'm like, listen, kid, I ain't trying you. So just forget about it. You're gonna stay bored over here. And we were able to put out great offensive output in that game against Winslow. Actually, that was might have been our best offensive game of the season. That was my first game calling plays.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go up against my former teammate Miles Nash, who's the DC at Winslow. So that was a
Yeah.
fun game of chess there. The second player I would say, guy that I played twice this year, number 10 from Delcy Russo. Um,
Mm.
outstanding linebacker, man. That
He was
kid,
a quarter. Just think
his
about this.
motor.
He
Huh?
he was the quarterback at Violin prior to this season.
Really? Go because last name Russo, right?
Yep.
Yup. Makes sense. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
I did not know that. But yeah, the motor that he plays with at linebacker, um, I haven't seen that. I've only seen that at the college level. So
Wow.
I just figured out how hard he played. Seemed like he was always around the ball, and our game plan kind of centered around him offensively. And although our success varied, was up and down versus Delsey in the two games that we played them, we
Hmm.
were able to minimize him. But it was because we kind of stayed away from him. We kept the ball on the perimeter. There was nothing going on inside. We wanted him having to run sideline to sideline. So that's just another kid that I told after we played them, like, yo, you were probably by far the best kid on defense out of coaching us this year. And then third, forget the kid's name, man. Gotta get better with names. But number 70, he's a Rutgers commit too, so I feel terrible for not knowing his name.
Mm.
Uh, number 77 from Delran, he's an offensive defensive lineman, man. And this kid, he was huge. But when I tell you, he played every single play of that game, and like that's impressive for a big man, because he was like 6'4", what 300 pounds at least. And I told him, I'm like, listen, like that's the stuff that gets you on the field right away at the next level. Being able to just go and go and go. And not only did he go, he played every single play hard. So that was another guy that I was impressed with that I played. And then one more receiver love. I've always been a fan of him since he was a true freshman burst onto the scene, because again, I follow especially my receivers out here is Lil Brooks, man, out Millville. He's a dog.
Hmm.
So shout out to that young boy there. But that's one that I didn't play against. But I'm glad I did. So we'll leave it at that.
That's love, man. Ev, I want to thank you for your time, man. I don't want to hold you up. We had some technical difficulties that held slowed up, but we got in a really good conversation. I just want to say, man, best of luck to you. Keep that drive, keep that hunger going, to be a great coach here in South Jersey. Continue to, touch these kids. I watch what you do, with your personal training and helping those guys get into understanding routes, understanding how to stack, understanding how to release, all of that stuff that they may not even understand. And you're taking some guys who are really good and giving them some gems that take them to the next level. So, that's pretty cool that you do that. Is there anybody that you want to shout out? Anything that you want to shout out or tell people where they can find you and follow you?
Yeah, I mean, just follow me. I'm mainly on Instagram and Twitter. Big Play Ev on both. Real simple. Big Play Ev. If you know any receivers out in the area that just want to perfect their craft, off season training starts real soon. Big Play Skills. Follow me on my business page as well. That's where we craft is shown at. So that's all really. Shout out to my guys, all my players. I'll see y'all in school tomorrow. And best of luck to everybody that's still in the playoffs, man. Y'all go win yourselves some championships because we coming. That's all. I'll leave it at that. We coming.
For sure. Thanks, Ed, for your time, brother. I'll talk to you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Once again, I want to thank Everett Wormley for tapping in, man. We got through some of the technical difficulties. That's a great young man, a great coach. a viable person that's adding nothing but positive energy to the community. I've been seeing him out at a couple different games, and just our conversations have been pretty cool. Still waiting for Nyair. He said he was switching devices, so hopefully he jumps back on. But let's get back into it, man. South Jersey football. We got some big games coming up this weekend. We got Timber Creek versus Cedar Creek. That's going to be a huge game. Last year, Cedar Creek wind up knocking off Timber Creek. Um, so that's going to be a big one. You have teams like, Shalleck. They have a big home game this weekend. They rolled last week, man. We had Coach Mike Wilson on last week, and they roll. They have not missed a beat. That's going to be a big game going down. And then there's a big one in Woodbury. Um, Woodbury is facing somebody. Refresh my memory. I don't have it directly in front of me. I'm trying to bring him on. Hopefully he pops up here in a second. Sorry guys. Is he coming in? Woodbury is playing. Pulling it up right now. Sorry about this, guys. I had the paper right in front. Where did it go? We're going to look at that bracket now with East Side out of that bracket. Um, Woodbury is playing Burlington City. That's going to be a big game. Burlington City, they rolled this. They knocked off the number 2 seed. I mean, sheesh. I mean, you think about how big that is for a number 7 to knock off a number 2. Maybe they got it wrong, man. The committee probably got it wrong, but a number 7 knocks off a number 2. That's pretty big for Burlington City. They going, into Woodbury with a lot of confidence, thinking that they can win that game as they should. They have some playmakers. It's going to come down to what they are able to do on defense. That's a great chess match. Oh man, I don't even know who I'm leaning towards in that game, but that's going to be a good one. Um, and then we have the Woodstown Pensgrove game. That's a very interesting game as well. Guys, let me know. Chime in. Let me know what you guys think about that game. Any game here in South Jersey, we could just have a quick conversation about. Uh, Winslow, they got Hamilton. Man, man, that's a pretty good game, man. And then Seneca was supposed to face Eastside, but as you guys know, Eastside has been disqualified from the playoffs for having an ineligible player. So that's a shakeup in that bracket, and that puts Seneca right in the playoffs. As far as the championship goes for South Jersey Group 3 championship, right? I mean, that gives them a forfeit, I'm assuming. I don't, I haven't really had the opportunity to read all of the implications and how it's going to work, but that's a very interesting one. Um, very sad, very sad. I was trying to bring Nair on. Nah, he's not ready. Um, if we can't get him, I'll try to at least get him on and then post it. Maybe I'll record it and then post it on a live. So I'm gonna try to give him about 5 more minutes to see if he's able to chime in. If not, uh, I'll try to figure something out. Maybe I'll post something on YouTube at a later time. Uh, Man, I wanted to get his story out there. I had somebody watching that wanted to see him, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not able to get him. But what else is going on in South Jersey, man? What you guys want to talk about? Anybody have any questions? Anybody got any predictions? Um, Anything? Let's talk. Let's talk. I am going to figure this whole interview process out. I'll work on that and do some samples. But it seemed like once Ev got in, he was able to get right on. So maybe I need to test and make sure I can walk everybody through what they need to do on the back end. I'm sorry, I'm eating gummies. Y'all know it's Halloween. My daughter brought some down. Said, Dad, here you go. She snuck down here. Y'all didn't even see her. She gave me this. These my favorites. The light, these, man, these right here. You know, I have to make sure, man. Everybody be safe out there. Make sure y'all take the time and check your kids' candy. Make sure they had a good one and that they don't have anything in it. Right? Just heard a story that somebody kid over the weekend went to bite a Snickers bar or something like that, and it was a needle in it. So make sure you guys take the time to go through this your kids' candy. Make sure it's nothing crazy in there. If y'all see me pass out, y'all know why. But I sure enough, I just dropped them one. Made sure they was good. I had to taste them. But yeah, I'm gonna give him a couple more minutes. This week was crazy, man. It was crazy. Ton of injuries. There's a lot going on, but I'm about to tap out of here, man. It doesn't seem like he's going to pop on, so I'm gonna tap out of here, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Tried to get him on. He has a great story. Once again, I would try to get it on to YouTube. Maybe we'll just sit down and do it behind the scenes. But I think we're going to pop on and do this on Monday Night Football. I don't want to do it on Mondays. Tuesday seemed like the open night. I don't really have much to do. Wednesdays are booked all the way up into the new year. Just got a huge contract, guys. I mean, if you follow me on Facebook, you can kind of see some of the stuff that I've been doing over the weekend. Just got a contract dealing with that. So, just got my head down work, man. Off season guys get ready to come up. Make sure you guys are working. Guys, that if you haven't had a scholarship offer yet, it's still not too late. Don't snub your nose at those lower level, schools that are coming in to see you. Some good football and some good money still out there. And hope you guys have a good night. And guys, coming up this weekend, play hard, man. You never know when it's going to be your last game. And I'll see y'all tomorrow night. See y'all tomorrow night on Glory Days Magazine and D2 Sports Network right here on YouTube. We'll see. We might push it out to the D2 Sports Network page on Facebook as well now that we have those capabilities. But, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and check out of here, man. It's been a rough one tonight, man. I'm not even going to hold you trying to get, everybody on. It's been kind of rough. But we'll work through. We'll work through. We getting better week after week. It's the YouTube is D2 Sports Network. D2 Sports Network. That is the YouTube. We'll kind of, you guys can just type that right in. D, the number 2, and then Sports Network. You guys can catch us on there. We have a great show lined up tomorrow. As you guys know, we're going to talk playoff season. Mark, he's back. I'll be back in the producer seat. Right? I gotta brag on myself. Yesterday, I produced a 4-hour live stream. Was that yesterday? What's today? Tuesday? That was Sunday. I'm sorry. Sunday, I produced a 4-hour live stream. We had people coming in and out. It was phenomenal. So, and it all started with doing this sports stuff and people, getting their eyes and seeing what I'm doing and asking me to produce for them. So now I'm in the producer seat, right? So this is kind of foreign to me, even though this is where I started being able to do it by myself. I'm gonna get back into it, man. Get back into it. I wasn't able to get down here and prepare like I wanted to today because of Halloween. I'm not a big Halloween person, man. I gotta be honest. I'm not a big, Halloween person. But, we do it for the kids. Before I get out of here, man, Oh, got a question that came in. What we got here? Y'all keep me around. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want me to see me here. It says, what you ranking this season? That's a regular season. What do you mean? What you ranking this season far as regular season matchups? Do you mean Q? I'm gonna just try to go through. I'm not exactly sure of what you're asking. You mean as far as like the competitive nature of the matchups? It wasn't this season was not the most competitive season. I mean, if that's what you're asking, it was not the most competitive season, man. It's probably the most blowouts I've seen in my life. Um, from week to week, it was hard and in between to find really good matchups. Um, it was really tough to find those matchups this year. I'm not even going to lie. And then some of the games that we thought was going to be matchups were blowouts. Like, injuries play a part in it. Kids getting hurt, but overall, I just think you get years like that, especially when you have a bunch of, and I kind of look at it as the quarterbacks, right? So with some of the teams, um, the quarterbacks are huge. So once you lose a quarterback, the next guy up, I mean, you're pretty much hamstring unless have a guy that can come in and really take control of the game for you, where you can do some things maybe in a run game, different things. But it's been rough all around. It's been a rough season. Um, you know, it is the end of the 2 year cycle, so they may change some things in the off season. They may not, but we're going to get some different matchups next season, so it should be pretty cool, pretty good. But yeah, if y'all don't have any more questions, I'm up out of here, man. I tell you. Listen, I'm gonna incorporate phone calls. We're working on some stuff. I'm not gonna say it all. We're working on some stuff. So hopefully I can incorporate that next week. I did want to talk. I didn't even get to take my shot at Everett. He's a true Cowboy fan, so I want to make sure, I showed off the Eagles hat, make sure he saw it, you know what I mean? But I forgot. So too much going on. What do you guys think about James Harden being traded? I'm kind of happy they got rid of him. At the end of the day, they got their use out of him for 2 years. Ben Simmons hasn't played in 2 years, so I think it was an even swap. Now the Sixers are able to get rid of him, get some draft picks, get some different people in that can help the team. They freed up some cap space. Maybe they can make another trade. Who knows? But I'm glad James Harden is gone. I don't like drama on my teams. Good riddance. So I'm going to do like James Harden and split. I'm up out of here, man. Thanks for tuning in.